Why the chosen walk alone? 7 spiritual reasons revealed. Welcome to Divine Calling, a space for those who sense that their path has been marked by something greater. If this message resonates with you, comment below. God is aligning me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the guidance meant for those with a higher calling. Not everyone understands the silence of someone set apart by God. Maybe you've looked around and asked yourself why it's so hard to find true friendships or love that truly sees you. But here is the truth. Your solitude is not rejection. It is divine selection. When a soul carries a sacred mission, the road will rarely be crowded. It will be filled with meaning. If you've been walking differently, more selective, more aware, it might be because heaven is preparing you for something greater. And that kind of preparation often begins in isolation. 1. Your presence reveals what others try to hide. Some people walk out of your life without a clear reason. No fights, no explanations, they just disappear. And the truth is, it usually has nothing to do with what you did. It has everything to do with who you are. When someone carries truth in their eyes and integrity in their actions, it unsettles those who live behind masks. Your very presence, even in silence, reflects things others are trying to hide. You don't have to say a word. Just by being who you are, the illusions begin to fall away. Your light exposes what others would rather keep in the dark. That's why some avoid you, reject you, or label you as too intense. But this is not personal. It is spiritual. Those who cling to illusions will do anything to avoid confrontation. And being near you means facing truths that hurt. That's why the Apostle John wrote in the Gospel according to John, chapter 1, verse 5, "And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not." Truth always brings light, but not everyone wants to be illuminated. As harsh as it may feel, understand this. It's not rejection, it's protection. God removes those who can't handle your truth to preserve your purpose. What you carry is rare. Don't dim your light just to keep people around. The right ones will withstand the brightness. The ones with courage to face themselves will stay. The rest, let them go. Your mission isn't to please, it is to awaken. 2. Some relationships drain more than they nourish when you carry a different energy. You attract attention everywhere you go. There is something in you that pulls people in, sparks curiosity, stirs something deep. But not everyone who comes close is meant to walk with you. Many are not drawn by connection but by need. They feel good around you but can't explain why. And because they don't understand it, they take from you without realizing the weight they're placing on your soul. You listen, you support, you show up, but when it's your turn to need someone, silence is what meets you. That's not a coincidence, it's a pattern. And after living through the same cycle enough times, you start to see that the cost of keeping certain connections is too high. Loving too much without return is exhausting. Giving too much without reciprocity wears you down. Your soul begins to feel the weight, and eventually, being alone hurts less than being depleted by people who only take this sensitivity you carry wasn't meant to be wasted in unbalanced relationships. You need people who know how to care, who can uplift and sustain, who move in the same spiritual frequency, people who understand the sacred value of presence, silence, and mutual respect. But finding that requires patience. It requires discernment. And until those people come, isolation may be your safest choice. And that's okay. Sometimes solitude is the strongest form of self-preservation. As it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." This is divine wisdom. Protecting your energy is not selfishness. It is spiritual maturity. 3. Not everyone can reach your depth. You experience the world differently. You notice details others miss. You hear meaning in silence, and because you feel deeply, you tend to give deeply honest advice, unwavering support, real presence. But when you are the one in need, very few know how to be there for you. People lack the emotional maturity or spiritual awareness to meet you at the level you offer. You may be surrounded by people, family, acquaintances, co-workers, and still feel an emptiness inside that no one seems to fill. That's not random. Your soul doesn't connect with surface-level things. You don't settle for shallow ties, fake smiles, or empty words. You long for depth, for truth, and truth is frightening. Not everyone is ready to face what's real. Some walk away because they know they can't keep up with you. Others try but give up halfway. Over time, you've learned to lower expectations, to step back when the connection doesn't feel mutual. This isn't pride, It's protection. It's the wisdom of someone who has been wounded too many times trying to fit into spaces never meant for them. You are not alone because you're hard to love. You are alone because you refuse to accept less than you deserve. And that decision, though it may feel isolating, is a sign of inner strength and clarity. Keep walking that path. The ones meant to meet you at your level will arrive, as written in 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 14. Be thou not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? This is your reminder that you're not being too picky. You are simply aligning with what God has set apart for you. 4. Inner healing requires silence and solitude. Those chosen for greater things often carry old wounds that are invisible to others, childhood traumas, deep rejections, painful losses, and pretending those things didn't leave a mark won't work. A divine calling demands healing, but not just surface level healing, not rushed. True healing is slow and sacred. It happens from within, and it begins in silence. When everything around you quiets down, you finally start hearing what your soul has been trying to say for years. This kind of transformation can't happen when you're surrounded by noise or confused by other people's voices. Solitude becomes necessary. It is in that sacred space of stillness that your wounds begin to heal. It is there, with no interference, that God begins to work on you directly, because there are places within you that only heaven can touch. As uncomfortable as it is, being alone during this time is a sign that alignment is happening. This is when you rebuild. When you learn to see yourself honestly, when you begin to realize how much your past still shapes your relationships, your decisions, your emotions, and with divine patience, God starts revealing what needs to be healed. Solitude is not punishment, it is preparation. As written in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. That means God already knew the wounds you'd carry, and he also knows exactly how to restore you. The process is painful, but it is necessary, and when the healing comes, the chosen becomes stronger, more whole, and more prepared to experience connections that don't hurt but uplift. 5. The love that comes from God never arrives before the right time. There is a reason why so many people come and go from your life without ever putting down roots. It's because the kind of love you were called to experience is not shallow. It is not for just anyone. The chosen are not meant to settle for empty relationships built on loneliness or fleeting desires. Your soul knows this. That's why, even when you long for connection, you choose to wait. Deep down, you understand that you cannot accept anything less than what was divinely promised to you. And though the waiting can feel painful, it is not a punishment. It is preparation. This season of solitude is sacred. God is strengthening you from the inside, removing your insecurities, realigning your expectations, and making you ready to hold the weight of true love when it finally arrives. This love won't be ordinary. It will be a spiritual covenant, two souls walking in the same direction, guided by the same purpose, with a shared reverence for the divine light they carry. Those set apart by God need someone who speaks the language of the soul. That kind of connection isn't found on every corner. Heaven is arranging this meeting, but for it to happen, both of you must be ready. You and the right person are being refined, each in your own time. And when the moment is right, everything will make sense. As it is written in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. That includes love, and your time will come. Until then, keep growing, keep healing, and keep learning. Because the love that comes from God is not meant to fill an emptiness. It is meant to join with someone who is already whole. 6. The wounds no one sees can also push people away. The chosen often feel everything more deeply. Words hurt more. Absences cut deeper. Disappointments leave wounds that do not heal easily. On the outside you may seem fine, but inside there are memories that still burn. Unresolved situations, broken promises, relationships that left you in pieces. As a way of protecting yourself, your heart started building invisible walls. You may not even realize it, but you've become more cautious, more reserved, more guarded. These defenses were created to prevent new wounds, and in a way, they've worked. But they've also built distance, keeping opportunities away, freezing your emotions, and making it harder for anyone to get close to the real you. The problem is not a lack of love. It's the fear of being hurt again. To love again, you'll have to lower those walls. But that only happens when the pain is addressed, not ignored. When the Holy Spirit touches the parts of you you've never dared to show. When forgiveness flows into the places where resentment lived. When divine light enters where only shadows once remained. It is through this sacred and slow process of healing that the heart begins to trust again. As written in Psalm 147 verse 3, He healeth the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds. That is how God cares for you. He is never in a hurry, and you don't need to be either. Your healing journey is precious. And when the time is right, your heart will be free, not just to love, but to be loved in the way you've always deserved. 7. Your soul carries a depth that few can match. You were not born to live on the surface. From an early age, you sensed that something was different within you, a deep sensitivity, an unusual awareness. While many settle for small talk and superficial connections, you've always searched for meaning, for truth, for purpose. Your essence is intense, and that can be misunderstood. Some are drawn to you, but leave when they realize they can't pretend with you. Everything superficial crumbles under your gaze. The depth you carry is not a burden, it is a calling. But not everyone is ready for it. Your presence reveals, your listening transforms, your energy confronts, You don't force anything, you simply are. And even that is enough to make some feel exposed. But here is the truth, you are not alone. It may feel like it at times, but in silence, God is guiding someone who has the courage to go deep to. Someone who will not be intimidated by your intensity, but will recognize it as something familiar, something divine. As it is written in Psalm 42 verse 7, Deep calleth unto deep. Those with spiritual depth will find you, because it's not about numbers, it's about alignment. It doesn't matter how many have come and gone. What matters is that the right soul will arrive, and when they do, they will stay. They will see in you what they carry within themselves. If your journey has felt quiet, it's because God is speaking to you in a language only the Spirit understands. Don't fear the distance others have created. Don't doubt your worth just because the right one hasn't arrived yet. The chosen are not meant to fit in, they are meant to awaken. And while many run from depth, the right soul will be drawn to you because of it, as it is written in the Gospel according to John chapter 15 verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. Your calling has already been confirmed. Now is the time to strengthen your light, protect your peace, and trust, because those who carry a divine mission are always surrounded by divine protection. If this message touched your spirit, comment below, I understood the sign. Like and share with someone who needs this. And always remember, there are things the soul recognizes long before the mind can understand. See you in the next video.